Today we are looking closely at the first 2 pages of the Court of Appeal decision against Aaron. Judge Edwards, on behalf of Judge Kennedy and Judge Burns, presented this decision to the Irish courts over 12 months ago in, I think it was July 2024. So it's just over a year, and it's only recently been published to the public. And we've put the link to the full 280, I think it's 280 pages, is directly below. We invite people and encourage people, have a read through the appeal decision, study it, and if there's any parts, points, or something that jumps out at you, either that something we haven't covered before, or something that you see as strong evidence, whatever, on how it's presented by Judge Edwards and the prosecution, please bring that forward and we will discuss it. We will go through the entirety of the appeal decision over time, but it would be excellent if the public would look through it and bring the fresh set of A's to the appeal papers and bring them to us. And we'd be really, really reaching out to Mr. Anonymous, Bobby Mack, Desmond, all the trolls. Please take the time to sit down, read the appeal, and there'll be loads of very titillating and exciting information in the appeal and how it's presented by Judge Edwards. And I'm sure you will be more than happy to bring it forward. And we will, as always, each and every paragraph will be able to put the truth and context to everything in the 280 pages. But as I say, today we're going to focus just on the first 2 pages. And the first 2 pages, the first page here, as you see, and I'll put it up there, the first 2 pages are just an introduction. First page is just an introduction, but what we're going to look at now is page number 2.7. So we're only on page 2, and Judge Edwards throws the whole case against Aaron and the whole case against James Flynn, throws it out the window and proves beyond any doubt that what we have said over this last 4 or 5 years is 100% true. Where he says in point 7, I'll bring it up here, the person driving the second car thought that this was a dark grey 4-door Volkswagen Passat. And yes, indeed, that second person that he's talking about there is the credit union worker, Mary Hanlon. And she had a perfect view of the vehicle. Now, I'm just actually going to read a paragraph or so. I'll just put it up here from Miss Hanlon's statement. I'm just going to go halfway down. So I moved off towards the exit. I don't know if Pat's car was facing in or out at the time. That's Pat Bellew, the other credit union worker, who was behind her to her left as she was driving through the exit, or attempting to move to the exit of the credit union car park. I don't know Pat's car. As I pulled into the gateway exit, a car pulled in front of the exit. Pat wasn't behind me yet. I would not have moved until he was behind me, but there was plenty of opportunity for the 3 cars to move out together. I was still on the phone to Julie. My lights were shining onto the car that was stopping in the exit. My first thoughts was, what is this stupid bitch stopping there for? She marked her place to park. I don't think she was on the phone. She definitely was not holding the phone to her ear. I really expected her to pull out her phone or answer a phone. That's really what I thought she stopped there for. My impression was that the car was a dark grey Passat. I had a side view of it only. So she had a full side view. She's only, I'd say, maximum 8 to 10 feet away from the car in front of her, and she says it is a dark grey car. And that is the evidence that our friend Judge Edwards was that's the evidence Judge Edwards was taking to create the appeal papers. And that is the evidence of an eyewitness. The car was dark grey. I'm just going to bring this up now. This is the interaction between Joe Ryan, who obviously Adrian Donoghue's friend and colleague, and the incident room, or the radio room that was in Drogheda Garda station at the time. And this is very simple. He says, Joe Ryan's communication room control with the Drogheda shortly after the robbery. So at 21, 36 and 15 seconds, Joe Ryan reports over the phone a dark grey Volkswagen Passat. Again, was a dark grey, not blue. So it totally contradicts the narrative given by the prosecution. And of course, we've seen the attempts, the brazen attempts and tampered with evidence. We've gone through all the CCTV footage, the times, the statements, and again, we will be covering that again when we come to scrutinise the entirety of as we go through the appeal papers. But there is nowhere, there's not one scintilla, there's not one iota of evidence that can link the grey Volkswagen Passat that blocked the credit union car park entrance and a blue Volkswagen Passat that was burned out in the Cady, Newtown Hamilton area of South Armagh. There is not one shred, not one thread, nothing, zero, that can link those two vehicles. The robbery is over here in Lordship, and we have to believe that the raiders drove 40 kilometres into a predominantly Protestant, highly policed PSNI area of South Armagh to burn a vehicle used in an armed robbery. Never happened, because it's all fucking tissue of lies. And this tissue of lies is something that the public is going to have to wake up to. And this one line in the second page of this extensive appeal decision proves everything we have said from the beginning. That one line, where the evidence came from, and what we have shown you before, Mary Hanlon's evidence, the control room in Drogheda, the evidence from there, the physical evidence, what people seen, proves everything we've said is correct. Now, we will be delving much more deeply into this, but we're going to have to reiterate this message to you, the Irish public. You are going to have to fucking wake up and see what is happening here, and raise questions and put pressure on those in authority. I would ask the Irish public to raise these issues with any of the mainstream media, your local media, radio, newspaper, whatever. The mainstream media, any of the mainstream media outlets here in Ireland, whether it be RTE, Virgin, we are willing to get questions from any of those outlets, but they won't interact with us. We've called them all out. We've called them scumbag journalists. We've called them gutter press, and not one of them have stood up for themselves. But more importantly, nobody has stood up for that man there, Adrian Donoghu. Because we have totally rubbished the investigation that led to the conviction of the man who murdered him, allegedly. But we have proven that is totally false. So, wake up, public. We need you. Like, comment and share. We really thank everyone who is supporting us and behind Aaron's campaign. Silence is no good. Evil will prosper when good people stay silent. And we really have had enough of it from our politicians and our mainstream media. And again, we're asking you, the Irish public. Judge Edwards tells us, page 2, Jimmy Flynn's conviction was totally unsafe. Aaron Brady's conviction is totally and completely unsafe. Page 2 of the appeal. 3 of the highest ranking judges on this island. prove what we've said from day one. Thank you once again. Please like, comment and share, and we'll come with a lot more content over the coming days and weeks. So please get behind Aaron's campaign. We're not asking you to shout up and down with banners, Aaron Brady is innocent. We're asking you to raise questions with people in relevant positions, whether it be political or media. It's time. Please, Irish public, wake up. This is our message from here on in to you. Thank you once again. See you all in the next video. Thank you.